Hey, Bitcoin and crypto traders, was that a bear break? Are we going to see weekly consolidation, or was it a fake out? Let's see what the charts say. So I'm only going to be looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum in this video because I'm going to be talking a lot about trading strategy and psychology and all of that good stuff. Let's start with the dollar first. Daily trend change confirmed straight into consolidation. Never a good sign if you are a dollar bull. We, as Bitcoin bulls, want to see the dollar weak, so we like that. We want to see a loss of the daily higher lows, a rejection from weekly EMA 12, and a confirmed weekly bear flag. That's something we're keeping an eye on. If the bulls set a daily higher low compared to 89.92 and break 90.95, asset bulls need to stay cautious because the daily uptrend will remain intact and we will start creating space for a weekly higher low to potentially form at that point. So, I'm trying to think of the order I want to do things here, whether it's talking about examples or what I am doing. Let's see. So Bitcoin, bigger picture, daily time frame, tightening range, broke bear. We set a lower high on the daily at 37,857, and we broke our daily higher low of support, 33,850. But what do we notice? A lower wick, a bounce off of the EMA 26 support, which we have bounced off of many times on this bull move up. A lack of follow through is essentially what it boils down to. So, is this a bear break or is this a fake out? As of right now, it is a bear break with zero follow through, which means we absolutely keep our eyes in the other direction. And there's a number of things that had me focusing on 33,850 as an important support level, but making note that even if that level broke, we still have weekly inside bars as long as 30,000 holds. So we know we're not going to see weekly consolidation unless 30,000 breaks. I'm anticipating that we're likely going to see an inside bar form again this week. That was one reason that I'm keeping my eye on the other direction after a bear break. And of course, the other reason is the size of the bounce. A bear break straight into obviously very high volume and straight into a significant bounce of almost $2,000, $1,800 bounce. So that has our attention as bulls. I personally stopped out of my core Bitcoin position, and I have absolutely no regrets stopping out of that position, and I will explain why. So for me, you know my style. I am not giving back profit. I do not care if I leave profit on the table because my goal is based on a certain dollar amount in my pocket. It's not the same for everybody. Other people are going to be trading more aggressively and having different styles. But for me, I like my 2021 gains in crypto. If you told me, hey, you're not going to make another dollar in crypto for the rest of 2021, I'd say great success. Very happy with those results. What's next? So that is my mindset, and I will always protect my profit. I do not care if I get stopped out and have to rebuy higher. If by rebuying higher, I have a very clear risk and reward scenario. Every time I'm in positions, when I place my stop loss, I know exactly what I will have as far as my net worth and as far as my profit in worst case scenario. If everything stops me out, I will have this many dollars. There are other traders that don't use stop losses and they don't have an answer to that question. And if the blank hits the fan, they could drop 20%, 30%, 50%. Some people dropped 85% in the bear winter, and there is no measuring that amount of risk. So that is not for me, and I will never do that. So I got stopped out of my core position on this support level breaking, and I exited all of my Ethereum position, some of it into strength. I exited some of that in the 1430s. I exited some into strength. I exited some when the hourly equilibrium from last night broke bearish, and then I exited the rest on the weakness this morning. Just locked everything in. And for me, that is a very freeing feeling to go back to all cash and start from scratch. I locked in a good bit of 2021 profit. Yes, my account is down from the all-time high back when we were, I had an account, was trading around all-time highs back when Ethereum was around 1,400. Even though Bitcoin was far off of its all-time highs, the gains in Ethereum offset that. But at this point, what it allows me to do is a complete fresh reset, psychologically speaking. So I saw Bitcoin break support and stop me out. So the first thing I'm watching for is, do we see follow through? And I look on the 5-minute time frame and see that it all happened on 10 minutes of action, straight into a very significant bounce. As soon as I see this 5-minute bounce, I say, okay, lights flashing in my brain. This looks like a bear break with no follow through. So what do? I look at the short-term RSIs crushed on Bitcoin. I look at Ethereum. I have a clear stop level to play off of. I jumped right back into Ethereum, bottom fishing 1234. My entry was a market buy at 1257, and now I'm very comfortable in that position, and my stop is under 1234. From here, if we change this hourly trend with a bull break of 1323, we zoom out and we scout a 4-hour lower high, anything under 1440. We double topped at the all-time high. Some exchanges broke by 1% or 2. Binance did not break. I think it's Binance. Double topped at 1440. It's not a convincing bull break, so we have to remain protective in that scenario. So I will be looking for a 4-hour lower high, and maybe I'll make more entry on a 4-hour high or low. Again, I have to have a support level nearby that I'm playing off of. And the reason I stopped out of Bitcoin at 33,850 is because once that level breaks, we don't have a support level nearby that is close enough for me to be comfortable using. Again, I don't want to give back too much of that profit. So I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of my friend who went through the 2017 boom and bust and who gave back a ton of profit by not selling into that strength and not having any stop losses, and watched those positions drop 50, 60% plus. And that same friend right now is frustrated from getting stopped out of positions. And for me, it's amazing how quickly we forget. The most painful financial feeling that person has felt in the last 3 years has been not using stop losses and going from a very bullish market into a bearish market. Not using stop losses works great when you're in a bull market. There is no risk. But the moment that bull market is done, and you don't know when that's going to be, and I don't either, that is when stop losses are your absolute best friend. I left money on the table on the 2017 Bitcoin run-up all the time. I would exit into strength, then we would bull break and I'd rebuy higher, quickly exiting, and then once the top was hit, I didn't give any profit back because I was all cash and there was no sick feeling to my stomach. And stop losses are frustrating in a bull market as long as we're in a bull market, and as soon as we are no longer in a bull market and the top is hit and we pull back 20 to 50%, they then are your best friend. All it takes is one time. That one time that we don't see the bear break lead to a significant bounce and we don't see the bulls keep complete control, that is when it really hurts if you do not have a stop loss. So what an experienced trader does is quickly jumps back in as soon as they have a new level established. So at this point, I exited my Bitcoin back to all cash. I entered Ethereum, got a great entry off of support, clear risk and reward on that entry, and I'm holding it for an hourly trend change, and maybe I'll exit on a 4-hour lower high on that position. But what I'm doing now on Bitcoin is looking for a re-entry. Number one, the bulls haven't proven enough. They proved a big bounce, absolutely, so they get my attention. I need an hourly trend change. We've been in an hourly downtrend at this point for 24 hours plus, and the hourly EMA 12 just continuously rejects the price. And here we are rejecting from it again. So if I want to re-enter positions, I already entered my anti-FOMO position on this 15-minute bull flag. So re-entered some at 34,700. And now I will patiently wait. And this is me being aggressive. Entering an hourly high or low, I will scale in the low 34,000, maybe another entry in the upper 33,000. My stop will be under 33,300 because again, if this level breaks at this point, then it is no bear fake out. It's bear follow through. And it's a loss of the daily uptrend, a confirmed daily downtrend, and the odds of weekly consolidation will increase significantly if this low breaks from here. If it's going to be a bear fake out, we're going to have to see an inverse head and shoulders here, an hourly trend change, and then a 4-hour trend change. The burden of proof now is on the bulls to regain these trends in their favor to prove to us that this is a fake out. So if me as an aggressive bull looking for re-entries re-enters a couple positions, again, I don't care at all that they are higher, because when I stopped out, there is nothing nearby to protect me, and it's entirely possible we drop another 10% from there. If I enter a little bit higher, I've got a clear level to be going off of. I know exactly what I'm risking on the trade. And for me, it's essentially I'm paying for insurance. I'm leaving a little money on the table by re-entering higher, but I'm paying to have that new level to be playing off of. And again, I am fine doing that because I know that when it's the top for real being set, it's going to keep 10, 20%, however much profit that I would give back without a stop loss. It's going to keep that in my account. So I will be looking for an aggressive entry. And why is it aggressive? Because it's entering before the bulls prove a trend change to us. If I wanted to be patient, I'm waiting for an hourly trend change, but I personally would prefer the risk to reward scenario of entering on consolidation, putting my stop below here. If I stop out on my re-entry attempt, then I know, okay, hands off for now, take a couple days off, reassess the situation, and again, I just have no problem rebuying higher. And I know for a lot of people that's counterintuitive, but for someone who's been trading 10 years and knowing how many opportunities there are to trade anything over the next decade, protecting your profit, keeping your capital, and being able to compound those gains in other places or back in the same place is invaluable to me. So I'm watching for a weekly inside bar. If the weekly inside bars break bearish, we're going to look for weekly consolidation. And if the bulls change the hourly trend back in their favor and change the 4-hour trend back in their favor, then we're going to say, okay, bulls are back in the driver's seat and back in complete control. So bull markets lead to traders becoming complacent, and then they make the big mistake. And that's how it works. And that's what's happening in the stock market right now, where everybody's being trained, don't use a stop loss, buy every single dip, and there will be one time it's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work, and then one time people will give back 20, 30, 40% of their profits, and they will learn the hard way. So, learn the lessons that you keep the lessons in mind that you have learned from previous markets, and do not let them sway your game plans. I'm trying to convey, I'm hoping I'm doing a good job, but it's really hard for me to convey psychologically what's going on in my brain when I don't care at all about rebuying higher if it means being protected and knowing exactly what I am risking on every single trade that I take. What else do I gotta say? Dominance chart. Bears in complete control still. So this weekly bounce, we know a weekly higher low is the most likely scenario. And then we're going to look for a weekly lower high from there. And again, altcoin bulls are hoping this is a head and shoulders. We haven't started bouncing yet, but we know anything above 60, 80 is a weekly higher low, and we have a ton of space. So knowing that that's the most likely scenario, what are the two ways that this bounce can take place? It can take place with a Bitcoin bull break to new all-time highs, where the attention is back on Bitcoin and away from altcoins, and it bounces in response to that. Or a bear break, a flush, and the altcoins flush faster. I personally feel scenario 1 is the more likely scenario. That doesn't mean that scenario 2 is not possible, and we need to be prepared for that possibility, but I do believe that this bounce is more likely to occur with a new Bitcoin all-time high if the bulls can recover from that bear break fake out. ETHUSD, again, daily, I actually don't even care about the daily at this point. It's still an uptrend. The daily EMA 12 is still support, but it's just clarity on the hourly and 4-hour. And once we change the hourly trend, then the 4-hour becomes most important for me. And then once the 4-hour sorts itself out, then I zoom back out and pay more attention to the longer term time frames. But for now, I just care about the short term time frames. I've got my entry that I'm comfortable with We have to see a bull break of 13.23 to confirm the hourly trend change and get over hourly EMA resistance. Again, if these hourly EMA resistances just reject Bitcoin and Ethereum for the rest of today and into tonight, the bears keep complete control. So we have to get over these levels and confirm trend changes to prove anything. ETH BTC, 4-hour consolidation. We did lose the 4-hour higher lows. Not a lot of bear follow through, just an inside bar right now. If it breaks bearish, plenty of space to be looking for a daily higher low on that pullback. So one more time, summary to reiterate. Hourly trend change absolutely needed for the bulls. I will be aggressively making an entry before the bulls prove anything to us. Looking for an hourly higher low entry, re-entering my core position, potentially $500 more than it was at when I got stopped out, paying to have a new level nearby to be going off of, and to have clearly defined risk on the new trade. And then from there, don't let the bull market make you lazy, because I would rather give up 1% here, 2%, 3% there, re-entering higher, leaving 1, 2, 3% on the table to have that 25% drawdown not impact my account at all. So establish your own game plan. You know, if you're just dollar cost averaging in and you're holding long term and you don't care about sitting through a 40% pullback, then stop losses aren't for you, obviously. If you are a trader and you want those profits that you currently see in your account to stay there, you have to use stop losses. And if you get frustrated from getting stopped out, practice on those re-entries and the signals that you look for on re-entries, and give yourself another trade. Again, I'm not going to sit here and just constantly keep retrying to enter bullish. This is my one shot. If I go aggressive here, and again, if I get stopped out, that puts me in timeout for a while. I'm not just going to constantly keep trying to rebuy positions. So I'm excited to see how this plays out, whether we get this hourly trend change or not. And again, hourly trend change is step number 1, but I really want a 4-hour trend change if we are going to say that is a bear break fake out. I don't like the 12-hour EMA cross that's about to happen. This would be the first bear cross. Granted, we can look back and say, well, we did see a daily consolidation period where it did just barely cross bear straight into a bull break. So bulls really want to see this bounce get some follow through to try and fend off that bear cross from happening, which would be the first time in over a month. One time frame at a time. Change the hourly trend, zoom out. Can we change the 4-hour trend? And if the answer is yes, then bulls are safe for now. GBTC broke daily support straight into a bounce. So we zoom out. Weekly consolidation is already underway. Inside bar bear break, but a daily confirmed downtrend with 0 follow through. If the bulls can put up a green day tomorrow, that keeps that weekly consolidation very healthy. All right, I'm done talking. Stop losses can be frustrating, I understand. But again, the alternative is so much worse. Couple little cuts of frustration are better than getting your arm cut off the one time it's for real. Have a good rest of your day. We'll continue to check in and see if the bulls can pull it off. Keeping an eye on volume as well. If we do see an hourly trend change, increasing bull volume would be very notable for me as far as proving it by the bulls. Stay protective, establish those game plans, stick to the game plans, and we'll see you soon. And do good things.